like Attila the Hun. I came here to conquer. Lanes bring the beef, I tell them no donker. They wanna play games, I shock them like Blanca. They still rudimentary, I'm tough like Tonka. And let me get this off my chest. I'm hearing going nowhere, so haters take a rest. Ain't nothing handed, just working hard, sweating. You can take that to the bank. I know I did bet.
Welcome to episode 3 of the second season of Eye of the Storm. I'm Tempestt, and I want to thank you all for showing up. Season 1 is available on the playlist, and once we hit 5 episodes for Season 2, we'll make one for this season as well. As you know, I do montages, music, etc., and I work with Mind Over Mix-Up as well. Be sure to show them some love, drop a like, and with that said, let's get into it. First off, Meitun-kun was revealed, and this trailer was a huge improvement over the last one, with more gameplay, and it's still holding true with looking and sounding great. You know, that's the KOF 15 news. I'm definitely looking more to the actual reveal, and hopefully for a beta for KOF 15, you know, come on SNK, you know. Anyway, the other thing that's going on is Guilty Gear Strive. The buzz is that there's supposed to be a suspected tag mode. Now, I haven't found any actual evidence to confirm it, but it does look promising. We should be getting something soon, and the whole consensus is that the last character to be revealed is Elphelt. Reason being is we're gonna get something on or around Valentine's Day? So I'll definitely be sure to cover it when it comes out. Hopefully, both companies learn from the past, make major improvements on these games. Speaking of which, today we're going to talk about progress, but in a different manner. Learning from mistakes. See, I know it seems like a pretty simple concept, but in my experience, it's something that a lot of people just don't seem to apply. Now, it's not everyone that's ignoring it. Some just don't do things like pick up on patterns or, you know, stuff like that. And some kind of just push forward to find their own way, I guess. Now, as always, if you're new, and you'll understand, I try not to condemn anyone. However, I will provide the insight on this subject. So, what we're gonna do is discuss how it helps and what to look out for if you actually decide to put the time into adding this to your active repertoire. So have you ever been in this position? You're playing someone, and they keep hitting you with the same move, over, and over, and over again. You suddenly start to feel like there's nothing you can do to stop this move. You feel like you're trying your hardest, but it seems insurmountable. It seems cheap. The frustration mounts, you may even feel like the person you're playing is spamming. And it's the same move, and it's pretty annoying and unfair. Sound familiar? Maybe even you who's watching this have observed someone who just runs into the exact same thing you happen to be doing to them. You ever wonder why they don't adjust, or, you know, what do? Do you tell them? Do you leave it alone? Do you adjust your own play? More on that a bit later. First, we address the victim of the punishment, if you will. What are you trying to do to stop it? See, this is where a lot of players tend to make mistakes. This is actually more than just fighting games. I have a friend who deals with this when he plays Madden. He'll run the same play over and over and over again, and it's not like the tactic's unstoppable. It's just people don't bother to try and do the proper things to stop it. First off, when you get hit with something, are you trying different timing? Perhaps spacing something different? What if you try approaching a different way altogether? Like, what are you doing exactly that's different? Now, I made this a bit vague because these questions can work if you're stuck on a boss, struggling with a level, having a hard time with a fight, or what have you. The biggest thing is that in order to be able to overcome this seemingly insurmountable obstacle, you have to think differently, or at the very least, critically. You have to understand that if you put your hand on a hot pot, you're going to get burned, and in order to not get burned, you have to find a way to move the pot. Now, can't just keep touching the pot until it cools off, because what if the stove is still hot? Now, if you happen to be able to hold on long enough and maybe move the pot, that's not the way. You still got burned. How many times are you going to be able to do that again? It worked once out of how many attempts? And chances are, it's probably not happening again. Not without getting hurt. The simple fact of the matter is, you can't try the same thing 1,000 times. Just because you literally get one victory somewhere in there, or one time it succeeds, it doesn't make it a valid strategy. The big difference is that someone who actually succeeds fails several times until they find a way that can be used more than once to defeat this beast. See, if you play some old school games, you'll realize that a lot of difficulty could be cut just by paying attention to patterns, perhaps even memorizing a few things. Play it enough, you'll learn it. You know how you had that one friend, or maybe have that one friend who you can always go to, in order to beat a level or part of a game that you struggle with? Chances are they're doing exactly what I just described, trying to see what works and what doesn't in how they approach and look at what the obstacle is in front of them, so they can stop it. They're just paying attention to what's happening. Just remember that if they keep doing it, and I mean they as in your opponent, it doesn't mean it's broken, cheap, or even spamming, or that they're just lazy. It's more along the lines of, if you aren't stopping it, then why should they stop, or even change up what you do? That leads me to briefly address the other side. Don't think I forgot about you. Don't stop. Keep doing it, even if your own nature and urge is to switch things up just to keep them guessing. You have to understand that not every player is going to learn that way, and it might frustrate you too if you're expecting something different and they're not trying anything different. Read the room and assess if you can or should make an effort to help. Keep in mind, not everybody likes help. However, be sure to explain to them, or at least give hints on ways that they can get around. It's delicate, but it does help. So in conclusion, be sure to pay attention to things that are going on in game. If you're struggling, try to do things differently than what you've been doing, and truly change things. Don't just approach it in the same manner every single time. Make adjustments, mental notes, and you may even be able to make better reads in the future by developing this skill. Now, you don't have to do this, I'm not saying that. It is just insight, but it could help you, and not just in gaming either, but in life. It's a key building block to problem solving, and that's a useful skill for any facet of life. Well, that's about it for this video. What do you guys think? You agree? You disagree? You got something to say or add? Feel free to tell me in the comments, and if you made it this far, please be sure to like the video, and sub if you haven't. We're on to our next big goal of 500, and heck, I'd like to get to 1K before the end of the year. It'd be great and mean so much if we could reach it together. And you can reach out to me in other media, but Twitter is definitely the best way to reach me and keep up with me. Be sure to share this with a friend, and as always, be safe, take care of each other, press buttons, and catch you on the flip side.
So don't just tell me what you want, baby, tell me what you need. Cause I ain't here to flaunt, best believe I'm here to please. I hear you're insatiable, I guess it's time to feed. And according to my ratio, we'll see.